Hello and welcome to round 3 of the 2025 UCI Mountainbike Eliminator World Cup from Aalen in Germany. Having paused for the World Championships, the World Cup action is back. Can Fromberger and Klemenchik hold on to the World Cup lead today? Well, we're going to take a look at the course with Simon Gegenheimer.
Hi guys, I'm Simon and welcome to our German Heimspiel. We are here in Aalen for the Mountainbike World Cup and I take you now on a brand new track. So after the start, which is really wide and long, the action starts with a narrow part. One highlight of this year's race will definitely be Auto Bierschneider Auto Kino, where the spectators are really close and have the real race experience. So here we are on the first obstacle, the Rewe snack track. We rider, we get a little uphill followed by a little downhill and a little drop, and underneath the spectators get their food. So now the next obstacle is the GER waves, a really long double jump. For us riders, important to keep the speed for the next long straight. So now this one is a real special one. We are here in the World Cup arena and tonight Michael Schulte will rock the stage, but now it's our playground. So the next highlight on the track will be the Lotto BW Welle, a really fast and long triple jump. So with high speed through the German beer garden, pros to everybody. Final obstacle of the day, the Gradki Stadium. A really big jump and Vollgas sprint to the finish. So that was a brand new track of Aalen. I definitely like it, so I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, enjoy the race.
Well, the qualifiers took place earlier on today, and in the women's event, the young rider from the Czech Republic, Pernica, set the fastest time, 1 minute 1 second, 0.89, 26 ahead of Marion Fromberger, and 1.52 ahead of the new world champion, Maria Sukapolova. In fact, 11 seconds separated first from 16th, and in 16th place, the young German rider, Hannah Beck, going through to the quarterfinals. And you can see the heats there, Pernica and Beck, first and 16th going in that first heat today. Heat 2, De Vries, Migdam, they are in there. Fromberger makes heat 3 with Borley. Sukapolova, the world champion, going in heat 4. Well, up first from Germany, Hannah Beck, Kaglin Kazur, Pernica from the Czech Republic, and De Schuster from Belgium. Joining me, Emma Martin, in the commentary box today is Matt Payne. Matt, take us through the action.
So we're up and away here, heat number 1 of the quarterfinals, round number 3 of the Mountainbike Eliminator World Cup. All 4 riders out and away cleanly, very narrow track here today on this initial section. Lines the riders up. You can see just going over the Rewe, a single track over the top with all those spectators crowding in. Nothing to choose between the riders, but an interesting first 2 riders over the double, taking the speed from the first part of the wave into the second part of the wave. Key part for this track, though, is going to be when we come in towards that finishing line for the first time and we see who has got those gaps. They are starting to stretch out now, and as you can see at the moment with this tight right-hand turn, this is going to be really, really critical. Come round here with the gap, and at the moment I think Beck just being distanced a little bit here by the leading 3 riders in between the crowds. Now we're going in to the double track. Everybody taking the A line, the right-hand line here, with a bigger drop, a longer distance, and the sprint is on here. You've got to get the power down. You've really got to accelerate here. You do not want to get past. And as they go through, it is Pernica, the rider who had that fastest time in the time trial, leading out at the moment from Kaline Glazure, 0.5 of a second separating those 2 riders. Josita only 2 seconds back. So 1 mistake, 1 error, and these riders are going to find themselves in trouble now. Carrying speed and pace, momentum key here. Both riders over, nobody casing that, and you can just see the difference there. Chanel de Chaussita having to ride the wave, not go straight over the top. So no jump on the way through, lose momentum, and you can see the damage that's been done. 2 through from each of our qualifiers here in these quarterfinals into our semi-finals. 2 riders eliminated at this stage of the competition, and at the moment our 2 leaders, Pernica, Clisure, clear. Now Pernica, this is the first time, if I'm not much mistaken, riding this season, the Czechia rider coming through and taking on the world's best, but at the moment with that fastest time clearly shows that she's got the speed over the big drop-off here, over that cracky drop-off. These 2 riders are clear. Big look over the shoulder there from the experienced Colleen Clisure as we see them cruise into the line. It's now about saving energy, making sure that they are ready for the next round, which will be our semi-finals.
Well, Clisure was world champion in 2018. Her best position this year has been 6th at round 2. Pernica going through there, leading all the way, setting the fastest time in the time trial. Really, really strong riding. It's going to be great to see what the rider from Czechia can do here today. Well, that was Heat 1. Heat 2 is lining up down there in the start. We've got Aalen from Germany, Migden from Denmark, De Vries from the Netherlands, and Orevek from Hungary.
And the riders get the warning that they will start sometime in the next 15 seconds. That was a short hold there after that 15-second board. Came out, big kick out. You could just see that back wheel skipping from De Vries. De Vries with the 4th fastest time as we set out on the time trial. The time trial 1 lap, remember 2 laps here today. De Vries though is under pressure, and you can see at the moment, I tell you something, Migden is on form and looking very strong now at the very back there. Big old case, but all 4 riders going off for the jump there that separated the riders out earlier. Up round the World Cup course, down off the stage at the moment, and down that ramp. No crowd to surf at the moment at the bottom. They can get onto the wave though. They've got to get over this triple, and you can see again just catching riders on the way through each of those lines, the Lotto lines indicating the crest of each of those sections of the wave. That triple really, really technical. Get it right, you'll carry pace. Get it wrong, it's going to be like putting the brakes on. Now, work to do for the riders in 3rd and 4th place. Interesting B-line being taken. You can just see just fractionally slower. Don't carry as much momentum. You've got to work harder. You just see the gap between 2nd and 3rd here just opening out. So as they go over the line at the end of lap number 1, Didi De Vries leading them through there. Immediately behind them, Migden in 2nd place in that blue and black jersey with the white helmet. The rider with the big white band across their midriff. That is Laura Orevek in 3rd place, and in 4th position at the moment we've got Jette Aalen, the rider from Germany, still holding that 4th position. Got to move up here now. Got to push. There's no point saving anything here. Use the straights, use the sections where you can get that power down if you can, but when you're up against De Vries and Lynn Migden, that is very difficult to do. Migden currently 12th in the series. Tony's De Vries 4th in the series overall at the moment.
Oh, De Vries so disappointed with the performance at the World Championship. She finished 4th, but she was absolutely in it for the win. And she's having a storming season so far. 4th in round 2, 5th in round 1. She took her first World Cup win in 2024, and she is a motivated rider, Matt.
She certainly is, and it's showing at the moment right on the front. Led this from start to finish, from that big kick off that start line. That push comes behind for Orevek at the moment, but on the way in through, so the riders go in and through, and you can just see the moment joining Pernica along with Clisure. It's going to be De Vries and Migden, the first 4 riders from our heats 1 and 2 in our quarterfinals going through.
Well, that was a faster heat than Heat 1. So De Vries on some really good form today. So is Lena Migden. That's going to be really interesting to see those 2 progress. Next up, Heat number 3. We've got Van der Meijden from the Netherlands, Borrelli from France, Fromberger from Germany, and Schuurstiuk, the bronze medal winner at those World Championships, lined up and ready to go.
Well, Marion Fromberger spent a lot of time with the press today, doing a lot of interviews. The World Cup leader leading them out, the 4 riders in line of stern as they come out and through up onto the bridge. And this is a big, big kick at the moment. So Fromberger leading away, Borrelli, Van der Meijden and Schuurstiuk, the riders behind. But look at this big distance. Over jump this, it's almost as bad as jumping it short because you will land really heavy. You can land to flat, and that is really disconcerting when you land. Now, what can Sjöstedt do? Ryder currently sitting in third place at the moment, just putting the pressure on here as they take this right-hand turn. And at the moment, that battle for third and second place is a critical battle here. And it looks like Fromberger out of the pressure zone, out of that danger zone at the moment. Clear in first place, second and third close together. It's going to be about carrying speed momentum, get a good run at this now. It's really going to drive you onwards here. Borrelli, 7th in the time trial. Sjöstedt was 10th in the time trial. And as they come over the line here, you can see Borrelli to Sjöstedt. They're separated at the moment by less than a second. This is going to be close. Now, what can Sjöstedt do? Can she come hard on the second section of this course, on the second lap here? She needs there to be a mistake, I think, at the moment from Margot Borrelli. Borrelli looking good, though. The World Championships, Sjöstedt absolutely overjoyed with that position, and she's taking confidence.
Well, she is indeed, and I'll tell you something, her endurance at the World Championship event was absolutely brilliant. She really battled for that third spot on the podium, and I think she's going to battle here today.
Well, she's got to get to really getting that power down. You can just see just catching that last of the triples. Goes into the right-hand turn. Has she got enough left in the sprint? Can she keep herself in contention? Holding fire. You only need to make that pass once. You just need to do it at the critical place, and it's coming up now. Sjöstedt needs to carry speed, needs to carry pace, but look at Borrelli kick down there, up onto the bank. She took that onto the ramp. She's carried it off. Sjöstedt knows that it's all over now because she's not going to pull back Borrelli. Fromberger takes the applause, takes the high fives with the win from Margot Borrelli in second. Sjöstedt's going to come across the line in third place with Van der Meijden in fourth.
Well, while the Ukrainian rider Sjöstedt might be disappointed, Margot Borrelli from France is not going to be disappointed with that qualification today. She took 7th place in the World Championships, and she's going to be looking to go into that major final here in Aalen today. Well, one more heat in the women's, and we are going to see those rainbow bands on the back of Maria Sukapalova for the first time. From Ukraine, Orakova, Huber from Germany, Sukapalova from the Ukraine, and Pennings from the Netherlands. The 4 riders down in the start.
So the world champion with those rainbow bands has to get a good start, and a real stall coming out there for the second of those Ukrainian riders, and that was Orakova, who had almost a stall on the way out and away. So at the moment, the race bookended either end. Right at the front of the race, you've got the Ukrainian rider Sukapalova. At the back of the race at the moment, Orakova, who's the rider in 4th place, sandwiched in between Huber along with Pennings, and this is going to be an interesting battle between these two, 6th and 11th places in terms of their time trial performance, and that means that the Huber 3.583 seconds behind our leader, 5.9 for Pennings, so in theory should be Huber's to take. However, this is Mountain Bike Eliminator, and as you've seen at the World Champions, and we see season after season, it's one mistake, one error, and you're going to be in trouble.
Well, you've also got to remember there's some element of balance and strategic choice on the time trial for qualification as well. You want to make sure you qualify, you want to make sure you get a good time, but you don't necessarily want to put all the energy down in qualification.
And so many rounds, recovery, making sure that you go back out with enough energy to finish off the racing, but conserve too much, be too conservative in that approach, and maybe just keep something back at the wrong time. You're going to be in trouble because you need to be putting it down, and now is the time, and now is definitely the time here. Coming down, carrying momentum is going to be key. You can see just coming off the top of the bridge there is that little drop down as they go over the top, and a real case on that back wheel there. We just saw that from Pennings. So at the moment he's Sukapalova, the world champion, from Huber in a 2nd place. Then it's Pennings. Sukapalova currently lying in 5th place in the World Cup overall. The world champion, I'm sure, would love to do the double this season, and she moves into 2nd place because you just saw that move being made over the top there. Interesting move. Huber goes over the top, takes the race lead, and now Sukapalova is in the danger zone. But this right-hand turn leads us to our final obstacle before that run into the line. Interestingly, Sukapalova goes on to the B line, takes the left-hand line of the two, the white of the world champion's jersey, just trying that out in Aalen racing, carries plenty of momentum through. I think she's going to take this. She does. And that is going to come down, I think, to a photo finish. But Sukapalova is credited with the win from Huber. They're the riders joining the riders in those semi-finals. Penins and Orakova are going to be eliminated at this stage.
Well, really interesting to take the alternative line in the heats. Lining up nicely side by side for the sprint on the exit, which might be really important in the latter stages of this race today. But the world champion Sukapalova coming through in one, Lena Huber, the German rider, coming through in two. Those two riders will qualify today. There we go. We have the results on the screen. So Pernica and Clausure from Berger and Borley, De Vries and Migdam, Sukapalova and Huber, the riders going through in the women's competition to the semi-finals.
And just one quick note, it has gone to the form of the time trial, the fastest 8 riders in the time trial, the 8 riders moving through.
Well, the qualification in the men's event earlier on, Lind, the new world champion, set the fastest time. Ceres was in second. Hampio, the French rider, came through in third. The 8 finals qualification saw Tarasov go out, saw Nemec go out. Tarasov did a sprint finish with Zagar. Now Zagar on form after taking the bronze medal in those world championships. The fastest heat, well, it was Jerome Van Eck. He took the world championship title on this course last year in 2024. He is a man to beat in Aalen. Now, the line-up starts because this is heat number 1. Van Looy, Lind, Gegenheimer and Molnar. Well, anywhere else this would be a final map, but this is heat number 1.
And it's great to see Evan Lind already kicking clean. You can see those rainbow bands on the jersey and on the helmet as well. But my goodness me, he's got a real pressure race on now, currently in 3rd position. And all of these riders can move. Van Looy's got a fantastic sprint on him. Lind has a big power output. We know that Molnar will make moves where there are none to be made. The Simon Gegenheimer has been there, seen there, done it, and got the rainbow bands to prove it. A rider who we know can take away victories, leading out at the moment in the black. So Gegenheimer leading, Lind in 2nd position. They're queuing up behind. They all want to have a pop here. So you can see that Lind, Van Looy, everybody wants to be there. Who is going to go? Who's going to make the move? Van Looy just at the moment, just trying to work out where he can get some power down, where he can go. But you can see coming out that corner, it's becoming more and more apparent. Every time you're coming out of that final corner, you are having to scrub speed if you are not right at the front of the race. If you're at the back, oh, big dive across there. I'll tell you something, Simon Gegenheimer just shut the door. Big style on the way round there.
Well, he's going to want this because, well, Molnar's not missed a big final all season so far. He's a rider on form. We know Lind is on form. He took that world championship title, those rainbow bands riding from the front. But at the moment on the front, Gegenheimer, the German rider.
And Lind just made a move going over that double wave ride. He tried to make a move up on Molnar, tried to make a move up to the front here. Can he get across? This is going to be really tricky. Now comes the pressure. They're both going either side. They're trying to pressurize Gegenheimer. Flicker the bike there. That was a real evasive maneuver going down there as they try to get the pressure on. They're going to come in. They know they're going to carry pace. Is anybody going to go try and take the B line to carry pace and speed? It's going to take something special at the moment. Are we going to see a world champion eliminated at this stage? It's looking that way. The pressure is on. They come to the line, a punch from the air as they go through. Gegenheimer along with Molnar go through, and the world champion, well, his season, it's up and down more than we get on the triples on the course.
Well, Edvard Lind, his nemesis course in Aalen, he came down in the final last year in that World Championships, not qualifying this year to the semi-finals. There's going to be one rider who's very disappointed, but first race out in those rainbow bands. There's more this year. Well, there's more racing as well, because in the second heat we've got Zagar, we've got Hauser, Van Eck and Klausman.
And remember, those numbers on the front of their number boards are the seeding after the time trial, so it gives you an indication of the fastest time. Lind's fastest time didn't avail him anything. He went out, so it's no respecter of what you've done in round 1 as it comes in through here. The 4 riders go, take that left-hand turn at the moment. This is going to be critical. Keep in position. The sprint has proved, Emma, today to be critical coming into this section. All these riders clearing the doubles, going through, carrying speed and pace, and we saw Lind trying to push up and unable to go through through here. For me, this course here really is favouring the riders who can get that kick out and away.
Well, yes, it is, but the competition is so tight in this men's race. It really, really is. Look at that, from third to first on that one feature.
Jeroen van Eck, the rider with the red shoulders, the white midriff, the blue base to his jersey, wearing the Netherlands national champions jersey, has some phenomenal power. And he just turned on the afterburners there to make the move. Now here we go again. We're seeing another kick coming in here. They all want to be in contention at the moment, though. The rider who is trailing at the end of lap one is the guy. And look at that big mistake. Takes it round, goes wide. And that was Klausman, a man who has set some fast times in the past, being pushed back, and that is 0 to 0 in the blink of an eye. Take it too fast, you lose control.
Well, the riders are all in contention still in this heat at the moment as they come flying in now. Van Eck had a mechanical in the World Championships. He's going to want to prove he's still on top and that this is his course in Aalen.
And they're closing down at the moment. Riders in third and fourth place on to the European champions jersey there at the moment. So at the moment you can see that we have got Van Eck now just trying to keep clear of all of the trouble behind. This is going to be absolutely critical. Who's going to take that second place? The sprint unfolds. This is the run for the line. Can he pop out? He goes on the right-hand side. This is going to be the push to the line. Was it in the throw? Hauser is going to go out. GER taking it. GER went from fourth position. He benefited from Klausman's slide. Hauser eliminated on the sprint, and Hauser will be absolutely bitter about that.
Well, Hauser, the European champion, was second in those World Championships in Turkey. GER, well, he took third, so the bronze medal holder has just beaten the silver medal holder on the line there to qualify for the men's semi-finals. The next heat is up. Meyer from Germany, Kraus from Germany, Ceres from France, and Wall from France. Two French riders versus two German riders here in Aalen.
Well, here we go. Ceres with the second fastest time. A third rider from the left-hand side of your screen. Usually a rider who relies on putting the moves in. I don't think he can afford to do that today. Wall going almost into the barriers with the power he put down there. Little pop over. There's a small cable ramp across there, and that's just to take some of the power from the outside to the inside of the circuit. That caused a little bit of a bobble on the way through, and it has just stretched these riders out. Now, Ceres looking good. Kraus, Meyer, Wall, all in position. They're all there. They can make those moves, and we saw that. Now this is going to have given heart to the riders. They'll have seen the result of that last race. Oh, and big slide out on the way down there, and that was Wall who came down, got that wrong. He slid down, he went over the top, off the edge of the stage. The front wheel went down, he went, and that is Wall now. He was right in contention, and he's now been taken out of contention. That did look like he came down hard there, so he'll probably be picking himself back up again and working out whether it's the bike or him that's feeling the worst off. After that, the medics will be with him if they're needed. But at the moment, it does mean that this is now a three-rider race to head to the line at the moment. As they go over the line, though, it's Ceres leading a 57.86 time as he went over the line at the end of lap number one. Louis Kraus in second place and Stephen Meyer in third position at the moment. So Ceres leading out. He got himself to the front. He has kept himself out of trouble behind. There's been all sorts of issues. So Kraus and Meyer with big issues. Now, just seen Wall is definitely off a race route there, so he's not down at the base of that ramp. This is really interesting. There is a little bit of a drop as you come off the edge of the stage and you make your way down onto the ramp. Those little drop-offs, they just break contact with the tyre. You've got to get that grip right as it comes down. Massive look over the shoulder there from Ceres. He wants to know how much effort to put in here, and I think we're going to see some tactical riding now. Ceres knows he's clear of Kraus by a substantial margin. He knows that to get to him, that Meyer has got to go around Kraus, and that is not going to happen by the look of it as well. So the two leaders are going to cruise in here. Ceres puts it on the back wheel for the crowd as he goes over the line here. Smoothly through for him. A few interesting moments for Kraus behind, and Wall is up and riding, so it looks like he's going to be making his way around the back end of the course, and clearly well enough to whip it up as he comes over that triple as well.
Well, he is indeed, and it's good to see riders back up and riding and entertaining the crowd on the way round as well. And it is a great crowd here in Aalen today, all the way around the circuit. The riders are watched by the crowd here in Aalen. Well, this was the penultimate heat here for the men. One more heat to go, and once the riders are over the line, we will drop down into the start to see those lined up.
I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens as we see Wall come in over the line here. You can just see he lost it just as he came over the edge of the stage. It just changes surface a little. It's not huge, but I just think it was just going in too hot. You've got a change in surface, so the grip of the tape on the stage and then onto the ramp, two surfaces, makes a difference.
Well, Riker from Germany, Perrin Gagné from France, Hampio from France, and Klemenchek from Slovenia. Perrin Gagné retained that French title last week for, well, the 11th time. And he's here in Aalen, resplendent in that national skin suit.
Yep, the red, white and blue of France being represented 11 times as national champion is a record that's going to take some beating by anybody out there in the XCE, and definitely a legend, a former world champion as well, a rider who we know could be up there. But Klemenchek, a rider who's not been having so much luck on his way through, and Hampio, Rika as well, are going to be very interesting. I'm going to see what happens to them as they come in. But for me, this is going to be about being the series leader at the end of this. Klemenchek leading the series overall, but he's not had it all his own way. For me, he's battled against it a little bit to take that lead. He's in a great position. He's got to just nail it. The series leader takes the right-hand line. Perrin Gagné, fourth wheel, the multi-time champion, takes the left-hand line, the B line here. Now he makes his move up. He's going to come through. He dives on the inside there of Royker. Can he make his way up towards that second position? He's got to get the power. Oh, it's shoulder to shoulder as they go in underneath. And I tell you something, there's no respect here. And that, I think, is going to be very interesting indeed, because I think that's Hampio versus Klemenchek there. So Klemenchek in the lead, Hampio in second place here. And Hampio very, very fast. Third fastest time in qualifying.
Yeah, young rider, 19 years old from France, was second to Perrin Gagné in those national championships. He rode brilliantly in the World Championships, took sixth place in his first XCE World Championships.
Well, Perrin Gagné takes a look on the right-hand side. All four riders back together again as they come around that turn. Klemenchek, Hampio, Perrin Gagné and Rika in that order. Rika, the man in black at the back. Perrin Gagné's already taken the B line once. He's going to do it again. He's got to get the power down. He's got to carry that momentum off. It gives him a cleaner run down here. Now, can he make a move? Is there anywhere to go? Klemenchek pushes to the line. Hampio is going to take away the spots from Perrin Gagné. They shake hands afterwards, but how long before the master is overtaken by the apprentice? Well, we may have seen it happening once here. Let's see if it's going to happen permanently as we move through the rest of the season. Hampio, very, very impressive.
Yeah, he really, really is a strong rider, and be really interesting to see his development. Going through to the semi-finals, Gegenheimer and Molnar, Ceres and Kraus, Van Eck and Zagar, Klemenchek and the young French rider Kylian Hampano. That is going to be a cracking set of semi-finals in the men. But first up, well, it's the women, and the semi-finals will be set up, and they will be down there in the start very, very shortly. So the first heat in the semi-finals, Pernica from De Vries, Migdam and Closure. The second heat from Berger, Sukapalova, Huber and Borrelli.
Well, it's going to be really interesting. So with four riders, you come through to this stage. Now this is slightly different. First two riders go through to the main final. The second two riders will go through to the minor final to decide those places from 5th to 8th position. So going to be really key here. Get inside the top of the standings. I'll tell you something, De Vries has suddenly got shunted back here. Big kick off the line by Closure. Pernica looking very strong as well. Migdam with work to do at the back here. De Vries not where she wants to be. She will not want to be in a minor final again. She wants the major finals. She wants those big points, because the further up you finish, the more points you carry through the series, and at the end you'll come out with that series win. Down they go, dropping down off the stage. Closure. Now you can just see Pernica under pressure here. De Vries pushes on the left-hand side. She's got to look to see where can she make that move. Time bringing out on lap number 1 as they come around that right-hand turn into the thin streets, the amazing historic buildings here, looking down on these riders as they come through at this fantastic round of the World Cup, round number 3. And at the moment, This is all about finishing in the front too. And De Vries now knows she's got to work cut out. She's got to push now. She's got to close down Panitska. Panitska with the fastest time in the time trial. Takes it out. And look at that big move there over Clojure. Massive move done by De Vries. So De Vries goes over Clojure. Panitska at the moment, for me, where has this rider been for the first 2 rounds of the season? Because my goodness me, Adela Panitska is leading this in some style now. De Vries up into 2nd place, and I think Colleen Clojure now starting to having to fight to get back into position, but got to build momentum. It can be done, but you've got to balance risk versus reward. Getting the power down, carrying as much momentum, carrying the speed, but not losing grip on the changing surfaces from the ramps, through the cobbles, through the asphalt, all the way around over the different types of angle and the different type of surface, as well as the different campers. And of course, because we're in the middle of town, all those grades, and that is going to be key. Now, Migdam distanced off the back, having to push, on the way through. Borrelli has gone... Clojure just struggling at the moment, as front 2 are going to go through very comfortably indeed. So as they go through, you can see the handshakes come. De Vries goes through with Panitska. De Vries just taking that, and Clojure just being distanced. Would like to see whether there's anything wrong with the bike there.
Well, yeah, it could well be a mechanical Matt, or could well be conserving energy, because she'll be going through to the small final and she'll want to win it.
She went off slightly to the right, so instead of diving around that turn, very quickly went off to the side there. So may well be there's an issue with the bike. The mechanics, the team crew is going to be there trying to sort that as fast as possible. So that's very interesting. First riders in and through.
Well, from France in the second semi-final, it's Borrelli, Huber from Germany, Fromberger from Germany, and Sukapolova from Ukraine. All the 4 riders are out of the pen.
So here we go, big push, series leader in the white jersey with the red bands on there, gets the elbows out, big style from Fromberger there, pushes Sukapolova into 2nd wheel at the moment, and Borrelli at the moment, and Huber have work to do. So the series leader at the very front from Fromberger, the push is on. They need to keep on moving here, they need to keep extending that lead if they want to stay clear, keeping out of trouble. Key at this stage, get a smooth run through, save energy for those main or minor finals. It is a consideration, but only if you are going to be through all the die is cast and you cannot make a move. I think at the moment we are seeing a little bit of an edge back there from the 4th place rider, but at the front here, it's very interesting now. Move to the side, really smart riding. Don't just take the main line. Anything happens on the race leader, if you're in 2nd place on that descent, if you're on the B line, you can go around. And Sukapolova noticing that, making sure she went around the side. Fromberger takes the outer line. Sukapolova took the B line. They come over the line, 0.22 of a second separating them. And at the moment, it looks like Lena Huber, the rider currently in 3rd place, is close right up on the back wheel here. It is 1.14 of a second as they came through on the line. It's not that anymore. It's more like 0.14 as they go over the double here. Now, what can Huber do? Has she saved something special towards the end onto the stage? They come on together. They're going to leave together here. And at the moment, the world champion is leaving this late. She's going to go through. She is leading the chase for 2nd and 3rd place, but she's pushed into 3rd. Big elbows out. Huber puts a move in. I'm on my way through. Out the way, sunshine. And that was a superb move. Dives in. Now, can she hold it? We've seen Sukapolova go for the B-line. Can she afford to do so? She can't. She's got to rely on momentum and a mistake in front, but the gap has gone, and I think our world champion now starts to put the power down. Is it too little, too late? It's going to come down to the line. Huber can't relax. Now look over the shoulder by the series leader Fromberger. She goes through in 1. And it's going to be Lena Huber who goes through in 2nd position. 2 Germans through in the 2nd of our semi-finals. The world champion out by 0.26 of a second.
Well, a home crowd lifts a rider, and Lena Huber from Germany qualifying with Marion Fromberger. So the 2 German riders through ahead of the new world champion Sukapolova. Oh, anything can happen with XCE. There we go. So Didi De Vries and Adela Panitska go through from the 1st heat. Fromberger and Huber go through from the 2nd. Migdam, Clojure, Sukapolova and Borley will battle it out in the small final for places 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th today. Well, the women's semi-finals now complete. We turn to the men's semi-finals. Heat number 1, Jerome Van Eck, Simon Gegenheimer, Eddie Molnar and Matic Zagar. That is going to be one battle. Ceres, Hampano, Klemenchek and Kraus. That's another battle for the second semi-final. Down there in the start, it's Zagar in 1, Gegenheimer in 2, Van Eck in 3 and Molnar in 4.
So Van Eck, who relies a lot on that big power, that big move, but I tell you something, Simon Gegenheimer has been getting this right. Home crowds lifting riders. Gegenheimer starts just as fast as Van Eck there as they came in through. They hit the line. There was only 0.19 from 1st to 4th as they went over that start-finish line. As they kicked off from that start, really interesting to see that Gegenheimer starts back to his best once again. Molnar, Van Eck and Zagar all with work to do as they come through, but look at this, you can see very quickly Molnar moves up into first place, gone around the side of Gegenheimer. Gegenheimer now in the danger zone. Van Eck in 3rd position here. They're going to take the narrow streets, this little alleyway that connects the big features here. They come down the side and in to the big Karaski jump. This is a big double jump, but the riders prefer in the right-hand side. More speed, more pace, more power, straighter line into the finishing line. They're going to go over at the end of 1, and Gegenheimer pushes to the front. Massive dive underneath from Van Eck in 2. Then it's going to be Molnar who's been deposited back down into 3, and we've got Zagar waiting to bounce. Remember what he did in that earlier round? Zagar waited, and then made his move and came through. Can Zagar do it this time around? Now he starts to push. Zagar moves up onto Molnar's inside. They're going to go into the right-hand turn and onto that stage. Will he have got through? We're going to see them just appearing up onto the stage, and as they come up and over, Zagar has got into 3rd place. Next rider in his sights is going to be Gegenheimer in the black, or will it be Van Eck? Because they are side by side, and this time round Gegenheimer goes through. So Van Eck now into 2nd place, right on his heels. So Zagar moving up through. Molnar at the moment deposited down into 4th place. So Gegenheimer's going to lead this out. Then it's Van Eck, then it's Zagar, then it's going to be Molnar. Can Molnar come back through? It's over for Molnar. Can Zagar get there? Zagar's not going to make it. It's going to be Van Eck and Gegenheimer going through, the 2 riders who have rainbow bands on their jerseys as former world champions, taking that in style.
Well, they put everything down on that heat, and it was Gegenheimer and Van Eck who come out on top. Zagar, the bronze medalist at the World Championships, going through to the small final with Eddie Molnar. Molnar, well, he has had some phenomenal performances before. As you know, it's the first time this year he will not make the main final. He finished 4th in round 1, 4th in round 2. He's not going to finish 4th today, but he will contend 5th place. Kraus from Germany, Klemenchek from Slovenia, Ceres from France, and Hampano from France are the 4 riders in this semi-final.
Big kick-off from the line here. Klemenchek wants to get into the final. He wants those points. The riders behind, well, Edward Lind, the rider in 2nd place in the series overall, eliminated in the previous stage of this competition. Can't get through to this, so it's a chance to extend that lead. And at the moment, all 4 riders together. This is not over by any stretch of the imagination. You see the applause from the crowd as they come diving down in towards the stage on lap number 1. 2 laps, remember, to count. Little bit of a gap starting to open between 2nd and 3rd place, and the series leader at the moment really needs to squeeze on here. So does Kraus. Kraus at the moment in 4th place. Klemenchek in 3rd. It's Hampio in 2nd, but leading it out at the moment is Ceres. And at the moment, the 2 riders at the front are the 2 freshmen. They need to keep this gap, and they need to keep pushing. Now, coming through, taking some of the draft. It's easy if you can hide behind. I'll tell you something, your series leader has done all of that. He's going to carry the pace. It's not enough to take him through that time round, but he's going to put the pressure on Hampio in 2nd place in that bright yellow-green jersey at the moment. Ceres at the front should be okay, but that's only should, not definitely will be, because the series leader is not the series leader for nothing. He's had to fight all the way through the season so far. He's fighting here on round number 3. Can the series leader Klemenchek Klemenchik do something special coming down off this stage. He's got to get some drive. He's got to find some momentum somewhere. You can see him just freewheeling there. Now he's going to go over the top. Can he dive on the inside? There's nothing left. There is defensive riding going down here from Hampio, just weaving across the track slightly there. It's allowed in Ceres to go clear. Ceres has opened the gap. Hampio now starts to go. He knows he's got Klemenchik behind him. Is that going to cause a mistake? Oh, little bit of a back wheel skip there from the series leader. He's coming on the left-hand side. He's going to push. There's nowhere for him to go. Is it enough? Was there enough room? Surely that's going to be a photo finish. We see Ceres go through. Klemenchik is going to be given that subject to verification. Hampio, well, I don't think there's any oxygen left in those lungs at the end of that race.
I'll tell you, the young French rider, Kylian Hampio, welcome to XCE. He's joined this year. Oh, and I'll tell you something, he races with his heart, that young man. Absolutely fabulous, but it is Jakub Klemenchik who goes through on the line by 0.02 of a second. So Gegenheimer and Van Eck versus Ceres and Klemenchik. That will be your major final today for first through to fourth. Zagar, Molnar, Hampio and Kraus will battle it out for 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. Well, the women's finals are going to be up first. Well, the women's small final is going to be up first today. Sukapolova, Migdam and Borrelli will battle for 5th through to 8th. In the men, Hampio, Kraus, Molnar and Zagar. Then the major finals where Panitska, Fromberger, De Vries and Hooper go up in that race. In the men, it is going to be Ceres from Van Eck, Klemenchik and Gebenheimer. But it's the women's small final first. Kozuri in 1, Migdam in 2, Sukapolova in 3 and Borrelli in 4.
Sukapolova surely with a point to prove. The world champion, third from the left there. The number 3 plate with the third fastest time comes off down the straight in 4th place. Puts a foot out of the pedal there. Has to clip back in as well. That's another mistake on the way through. It's a learning process. She's really new to racing in XCE. She changed the season round for the World Championships. It's coming good, but now she needs to move up, and it has opened up the gap on the front. So 2 French women, Borrelli and Clojure in here. Remember, this is the race for 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th position.
And what I love is the fact that the courses are so different. In Turkey for those World Championships, it was more of a mountain biker's course. Today, right in the heart of the city, bringing mountain bike to places where you wouldn't normally see it.
And that's the great thing about mountain biking. Like I'm sure everybody watching, if you ride a mountain bike, absolutely love riding the mountain bike. And it's very hard to bring crowds like this to a mountain. Well, if you can't move the mountain, well, let's move the bike race instead, because that's exactly what we're getting. A great way to showcase mountain biking, and of course to engage riders with getting out on the bike, so maybe trying lots of different types of racing, wherever that's going to be. The mountain bike eliminator, very fast, very quick as they come in over the line at the end of lap 1. Clojure from Borrelli, from Sukapolova, from Migdam. Migdam at the back with the blue jersey. Then you've got Sukapolova with those rainbow bands on as a world champion at the moment. Clojure and Borrelli are 2 riders going through, and at the moment that gap between 1st and 2nd is looking pretty secure. Move being made by Migdam. Lynn Migdam has moved up. I think they're on Sukapolova. Sukapolova will not relinquish that position easily. She's good at defending it, but it looks to me like it's gone the other way here, because Clojure has gone backwards here. I think the fire in the engine has gone out here, and she's all over the place. I think she's really got hit with a hammer here, and that energy has gone. She's put everything in, and the tanks run dry. It's allowed Lynn Migdam to go up over, and more importantly, Sukapolova has pushed into 2nd spot from being at the back at the start of this race. She's moved herself up into 2nd position here. So these are the positions at the line. It's going to be giving them 5th place overall. That is going to go to Borrelli. It's going to be a 6th place for Sukapolova. It will be a 7th place for Lynn Migdam and an 8th place for Colleen Clojure.
Margot Borrelli really pleased with that performance. Taking the scalp of the new world champion, Borrelli will be very happy. Lena Migdam absolutely shattered. When you think about this, this is akin to asking an 800-meter runner to do 4 or 5 800-meter events in the space of an hour. You've really got to comprehend the physical need of an ability of these riders to continue to deliver these 2-minute efforts time and time again with recovery in between. Well, next up it is the men's small final, and you can see the riders down in the start pen getting ready, resetting from the racing before and focusing on finishing here 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th up for grabs here today in round 3. In 1, it is Zagar, the Slovenian rider, Molnar in 2 from Romania, Hampio from France in 3 and Kraus from Germany in 4.
Molnar 4th place in the series overall, Kraus 7th place in the series overall. They're the riders who have the best chance of getting some big points to help them in their series standings. The rest looking to move up, Hampio particularly, currently 15th overall in the series, but my goodness, he could really do with the points of taking away the win in the minor final with those points for 5th place, but at the moment being led out by the German rider here today to go up and over the top. And at the moment, it is going to be absolutely critical for Kraus to hold that position and to keep calm when he comes under pressure, because it's bound to happen. Molnar will try and make the move, but Molnar has to hold off Zagar. Zagar makes the move on the inside. Zagar cleanly done. Nice as you like. No messing about. Thank you very much. You left the door open. I'm straight through it.
Well, she is indeed. And just noticing the French rider, Hampio, just sitting back and letting the action happen on lap 1. And these 3 riders right in contention, trying to close the gap down on this straight.
And Hampio at the moment, just distance, I think, too far back now to really push, may well be feeling the effects of those multiple races as we see Zagar now getting pushed back. Anything you can do, I can do better, says Molnar. Molnar moves up into 2nd place in this race. So that is effectively 6th place overall if they were to finish as they were. But is Zagar done and dusted? Oh no, is he going to try and repeat that self-same move? I would not put it past him. Here we go, up on to the stage where they're going to be playing and partying all night long at the moment. All 3 riders at the moment are looking to spoil each other's party. Zagar goes for it again, and this time he goes up from 3rd to 1st instead of 3rd into 2nd place. Rinse and repeat, do it all over again. This time though, Zagar's got to hold it. He's in the front, he's on the power, he gets the power down, he's got to go on, he's got to carry the speed, he's got to carry the pace as he goes over the top. Immediately behind him, Kraus is pushing, Kraus is trying to get there. Molnar sat down, he hasn't got the sprint, Kraus hasn't either. The win in the minor final, taking 5th place will be Zagar, taking 6th will be Kraus, taking 7th will be Molnar, and Hampio will come across the line 8th place overall after the small final is now concluded.
No, Matic Zagar, welcome to putting the performance in on the World Cup, his first World Cup this season, and he's going to go straight into that table with some great points today, picking up 5th place in that small final ahead of Kraus, Molnar and Hampio. Well, it's the major final for the women, and Lena Huber from Germany made that final. She is going to be in the mix with another German rider, Marion Fromberger. 2 German riders here in Aalen in Germany. Fromberger currently leading the World Cup standings at the moment. Adela Panitska here, new to the World Cup. First race out, first final. Didi de Vries. Oh, she is going to want to push. She is going to want to do well today. She's had a 4th and a 5th. Can she go better in Aalen today?
Fromberger leading the standings. De Vries, the next best rider here today, in 4th place. They want those points. They want the win here today, but they're up against a new challenge in the shape of Adela Panitska. Panitska pushing on the left-hand side here, but it's the series leader, Marion Fromberger, on home turf here today. The German rider leading this out. Panitska sits 2nd wheel. And look at this, a really good start from Lena Huber, the second of our German riders, currently in 3rd position. Didi de Vries pushed into 4th place as they go over the top. this jump as the riders get more tired and they get those cumulative efforts in their legs, that control starting to go. We're just starting to see more and more riders just not carrying quite enough speed over that double. It means that Lena Huber and Didi de Vries being distanced here. Panitska, though, with work to do. What can she pull out here on her debut World Cup? This would be a phenomenal win, but she's got to get past the machine that is Marion Fromberger, one of the nicest people in XCE. I had the pleasure of meeting Marion Fromberger at a World Championship event, and my goodness me, what a nice person. But put her on the bike and you can just see she's powering down the street. She wants to stay clear. Panitska's throwing everything but the kitchen sink into those pedals, and it's still not enough. Now can she close down as they go down underneath the bridge? 1 and 2 looking pretty clear at the front of this race in the first and second positions. Behind, de Vries and Huber are swapping places. It's a lot closer between them, and they want that step on the podium. De Vries has taken it from Huber at the moment as they come round onto the stage. This time around, they're going to drop down as they make the way down. Fromberger still leading. Has Panitska got anything? Second is a great result. First will be even better. Fromberger over the triple. She clears them. Panitska cases it. And look at this. Huber's coming up towards Panitska. It's not done and dusted. And de Vries at the moment being pushed back into fourth place. Fromberger looking relatively secure at this point in time. Panitska needs to push. But behind, they are coming. De Vries goes for the emergency line, takes that B line, wants to try a different option, but here on home turf in round number 3 of the Mountain Bike Eliminator World Cup, Marion Fromberger takes the home win from Adela Panitska in second place, with Lena Huber in third. 2 German riders on the podium. Didi de Vries will take away a fourth place, but look at the emotion. That is one happy rider. She's waited for this for a long time.
Well, she's had 2 second places, round 1 and round 2 of the World Cup this year. Round 3, her home round in Aalen, Germany. She tops the podium today. Marion Fromberger taking the win from Adela Panitska. Nina Huber coming through for third place today. She is going to be so pleased with that. She really battled with Didi de Vries all the way around that final today. What a race, and that is one happy winner.
Well, what a way to take a win. Go to the front, not be bothered by the pressure behind. Take the win. You can see the Marion Fromberger supporters club there, which is just a small section of the crowd that is packed into Aalen. Toasting Marion Fromberger, who took the win 2 minutes 10 seconds at 1.28 in the second ahead of Adela Panitska, and then it's Lena Huber in third place, Didi de Vries in fourth position. Fantastic racing in the women's race. The men's has got some living up to do here.
Well, Simon Gegenheimer from Germany is indeed in the men's final. He's going to have the home crowd behind him. He's up against Jeroen van Eck from the Netherlands, who took the World Championship title in 2024 in Aalen. Not on this course. We've had a change of course for 2025. Lorenzo Serres, the rider from France, the best of the French riders today, and boy have they been strong. They are all up against Jakub Klemenchek, who is currently leading the World Cup standings for 2025.
So the 15-second board goes across. They can start any time in the next 15 seconds. Nihuta hurled aloft. Here we go. And away they go out from the line. The series leader Klemenchek on the left there, being pushed to the side by Serres. This is going to be interesting. Van Eck up there. Oh, and he looks like he's banged his hand there. That is not good. He's just going to take a little bit of a look. He's not happy, Bunny. I'm not sure he hasn't snapped a chain, because that is one unhappy rider there. Serres out of contention here, and I think that's a mechanical. I think something's let go on the bike there in that battle. He's still carrying momentum, but he lost all speed, all pace there. It's leaving this as a race for the top 3 positions at the moment, but we have seen riders come back from 4th place in finals before. It's not unknown for 1 and 2 to come down the road in 3rd and 4th to be battling for the win further round. So you've got to get back on, you've got to get riding, but at the moment this is key. Van Eck leads them out at the moment, takes that right-hand turn. Another home rider here in the shape of Simon Gegenheimer in 2nd position. He would love to make it 2 out of 2 for Germany, but the compression there has made its way in and through, and that compression really, really key here. Right turn, Van Eck goes up the inside, pushes Gegenheimer wide, leaves him just enough room to make it through. That's forced Gegenheimer back into the clutches of Klemenchik. Klemenchik wants this. He's at the back of the three riders. He's pushing on. He carried momentum over the top there. He was carrying that little bit more speed, had to check it so he didn't go straight into the back of Gegenheimer. So at the front, you've got Van Eck, the man with the red, white, and blue jersey there. He's got to come off the top, drop back down again. The Netherlands champion leading out at the moment. Then it's going to be Gegenheimer. Gegenheimer comes on the right-hand side, carries the speed. He's going to go over the top. It means he's going to land it and go through in position one, taking the right-hand turn. This is going to be critical. It was Gegenheimer from Van Eck from Klemenchik at the line. At the moment, Van Eck makes the move. He dives on the inside, and Van Eck has taken it back here. So anything you can do, we can do it back. Is it going to be Van Eck? He's going to carry the momentum off. Gegenheimer's in the slipstream. He comes out to the right side, but look at the speed from Klemenchik. Klemenchik comes around the side. Klemenchik is going to take it. The series leader takes the win here at round number 3. It is Jakob Klemenchik who takes it from Simon Gegenheimer in second, with Jerome Van Eck on the very last straight, going from first to third. That means he will be on the podium, but no win for Van Eck today.
What a finish. It was Gegenheimer, it was Van Eck, it was Van Eck, it was Gegenheimer, and then it was Klemenchik. 3 riders wide across the road, sprinting off that final feature, and it was Jakob Klemenchik, the current leader of the World Cup for 2025, who took the win today.
Well, what a move by him. From the start, you could see Klemenchik really wanted it. He sprinted down. Ceres, though, had an issue. He went over that jump, and yet it looks like the chain came off. I think it came off the chain ring there. Yet he looks down. You can see the frustration as he bangs on the bars. Really just that bump, that tangle, the chain comes off. You've got to keep that bike in one piece. Just an unlucky moment for Ceres. He will take 4th place, but no doubting our race winner. What a ride by Klemenchik. That final sprint is on fire. Gegenheimer coming back into form. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Great to see him back to his best. And Jerome Van Eck, well, he's seen it and all before. He will be back. He knows what it's like to pick himself back up and take a World Championship win after some time.
Oh, and it was just amazing racing. So just to confirm, Jakob Klemenchik in 2 minutes, 2 seconds. 0.22 to be precise. Simon Gegenheimer from Germany, the local rider, taking 2nd place today, just 0.12 of a second back. And Jerome Van Eck from the Netherlands at 0.64 back in 3rd. Lorenzo Ceres with the mechanical not finishing today. Well, one of the things I love here with the XCE is it really is a family, and we've seen the world champion not go past those quarterfinals, but he's been down at the start watching the racing, and the other riders celebrating with each other, and congratulations all around.
You work so hard when you're racing. It's very, very important that that you can celebrate your wins together. You might be battling it out on the course. You may be a hooligan against the rest of the riders, and it is close contact sport. But my goodness, when they come off, it's time to celebrate and have some fun.
Well, let's listen to Marion Fromberger.
Win at home. How do you feel? It's amazing.
So first of all, I have to say thank you to everyone who made this so big. Yeah, it's something really special for me to win in front of my home crowd. I can't believe it. It's really amazing.
Talk us a little bit to your winning round.
I tried to make it from the front, and yeah, I did it. And I can't believe that it worked that well out. So I'm really happy that I could take it to the finish line and made my first home win here in front of this amazing crowd.
Congrats, enjoy the celebration tonight.
Oh, she did indeed lead from the front. Marion Fromberger winning the race at home, her home race here in Germany, and the crowd and supporters out there right the way around the course. It was indeed Marion Fromberger in 1. Adela Panitska in 2 as the riders join Fromberger on stage for the flower ceremony. Lena Huber in 3. There we go. Look at that. All getting into place on the stage. Congratulations from Panitska to Fromberger, Huber as well. So to confirm, Marion Fromberger takes the win and she will extend her World Cup standings with that win today. Adela Panitska taking second place, Lena Huber from Germany taking third.
Fantastic racing. Panitska new on the scene, really pushing. Huber pushed them all the way as well. Fromberger, a home win, something she's wanted for a long time, and extending that lead. It's going to be great when we go to our next round.
It is, absolutely, and Fromberger will be so pleased. She didn't make that major final in the World Championship. She took 5th place overall, but as we can see, she doesn't. Look at how she extends that lead in those World Cup standings. So preliminary results and additions to the World Cup standings after 3 rounds. Let's just remember we have 8 rounds for the World Cup this year. After 3 rounds, Marion Fromberger at 300 points. The Didi de Vries is 176. Sukapaleva moving up into 3rd with 155. Madison Boissier into 4th. Guy Tormena drops down. She's had an injury and has had to sit out this round. Let's hear from Klemenchek.
What an amazing final to beat like Sharon and Simon, who won both like the world champs last year.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I didn't believe that I can beat Van Eyck and Gegenheimer because both were really strong in the finals, but I don't know. In the finish straight, I just had some extra power and beat them, and yeah, it's very crazy.
Congrats. So amazing round. Will we see you more like, will we see you next year in Aalen again?
Yeah, of course. Like the course here in Aalen and also the fans, and there is really a spectacular show, and it's like the best race in the City Mountain Bike World Cups.
Enjoy your win.
Thank you.
Well, that extra power, he found it, leaving it till the last few metres to come round Van Eyck and Gegenheimer and take the win today. Like Fromberger, Klemenchek will extend his lead now at the top of that World Cup standings after round 3 here in Aalen. Well, the crowd down watching the flower ceremony. Jerome Van Eyck taking 3rd place today. Simon Gegenheimer taking 2nd. And Jakub Klemenchek on top spot. Looks a bit like Gegenheimer is caught up with his fans.
I think he was outside. In fact, here he is. He's made his way to the stage. They're just going to do a little bit of a shuffle around there. Great to see another home rider on the podium with Gegenheimer. Klemenchek, though, serious leaders going well here in Aalen, round number 3. There's clearly a trend going there.
Well, there is indeed, and Klemenchek was 1st in round 1, 3rd in round 2, back on the top step in round 3. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what the next few rounds have in store and whether Fromberger and Klemenchek can cement their leadership in those World Cup standings even further. There we go, the preliminary standings after round 3. Jakub Klemenchek in 1, 269 points. Edvard Lind staying in 2nd place, but the gap back to 3rd now a lot closer. Van Eyck closes that gap down. Simon Gegenheimer comes up from 4th into 5th. Molnar going down from 4th to 5th. But those points standings are close from 2nd to 5th. It's going to be really interesting to see how the next few rounds play out. We're heading to Turkey, back to Sakarya, where we had those World Championships earlier on, but for round 4 of the World Cup.
And that will be our halfway point as we move through the 8 series. Don't forget you can follow at UCI_MTB. Make sure if you're going on social media, hit hashtag XCE World Cup. And of course, you can catch up with all those results at www.uci.org. You
can do indeed. And we will, of course, be back with the action. But let's just take a little bit of a review of today. Well, Aalen never disappoints. Thank you for joining me, Emma Martin, and my co-host, Matt Payne. It's been absolutely great racing today, and congratulations to Marian Fromberger and Jakub Klemenchek on cementing their leadership. We will see you in Sakarya, Turkey on August the 10th for round 4. Until then, stay safe, enjoy your riding. Goodbye.